Occasionally someone will ask me what my thoughts on Batman vs Superman are, now that it's been released, and I think this question is a good way to lead into wrapping up this review. Because the thing is, there isn't that much to say about BvS that I didn't already say about Man of Steel. Pretty much all the same problems, just expressed in new ways. In other words, BvS was just the inevitable next step on the path that Man of Steel started us on. I will address one point about BvS though, like how people generally seem to have had trouble understanding Luthor's motivations, but it's clear to me that the reason this character is so frustratingly irrational and stupid is because he's a straw man. Think about it, he's an angry, hostile, violent, greedy, God-hating man who is abused by his father. That's what fundamentalist Christians think atheists are. That motivation is confusing to us because it's stupid, not because it's complicated and deep. Anyway, back to Man of Steel. It's not easy to express or sum up everything that's wrong with this movie, hence the 8-episode review. It's hard because Man of Steel isn't just a bad Superman movie, it's a movie that's bad in exactly the ways that a Superman movie needed to be good. It's gotta be the most backwards, ill-conceived, and misguided superhero movie ever made. It tries to be a darker take on Superman, drowning an icon of hope in this sea of tonal darkness, and mistakes that for realism. But do you think it was realistic? I don't. I think it's just cynical. But the kicker is, realism doesn't matter when it comes to Superman. There's a trick to Superman that only his fans understand. People say that his brand of old-school optimism just isn't the reality anymore, that the world doesn't work like that. But that means that they're completely missing the entire point of Superman. Because this was never reality. Superman's not about reality, he's about the future. He lives as though the world were what it should be, to show it what it can be. Because he's a dreamer.
If you think I'll just go to jail and rot, you're living in a dream world!
Good. Dreams save us. Dreams lift us up and transform us into something better. And on my soul, I swear that until my dream of a world where dignity, honor, and justice are the reality we all share, I'll never stop fighting. Ever.
But Man of Steel so blatantly ignores these kinds of defining stories that speak out against exactly this issue. Instead, it focuses on dark, one-off Elseworld interpretations. And it uses those as an excuse to justify this nonsense, saying that this is how he always was. Look, I don't care if you agree with Superman's philosophy. I don't even care if you like him. What I care about is that you understand him. This is what Superman is. Just let him be that. He doesn't work any other way. Don't twist him into your own personal pessimistic worldview, and then lie through your teeth and say that's what he's supposed to be. Show a little respect. This character has endured for so long because we find truth in him. Truth about ourselves, about our hopes and dreams for a better world. But what truth is there in Man of Steel? Man of Steel failed because it had all of the wrong people involved in its creation. A director who's not capable of accepting criticism and lashes out at anyone who dares question him, who claims to have reverence for these characters, but I see no evidence for that. And a writer with no respect for the genre, the character, the fans, or even good taste. All in a tone meant for a very specific version of a completely different character, and from a movie studio pushing some weird religious agenda. But thanks to BvS, people are finally starting to speak out against this. DC Rebirth is helping too, helmed by Geoff Jones. Even some pretty well-known YouTubers are speaking out against how broken this whole thing is. So my only question is, what the hell took so long? A lot of us saw this coming from the beginning.